Genesis chapter 7 recounts the great flood that forever changed the course of human history. It's a chapter that reveals both God's judgment and His mercy as the floodwaters covered the earth. The chapter begins with the Lord instructing Noah to enter the ark. God said to Noah, "Go into the ark, you and all your household, for I have found you righteous in this generation." God commanded Noah to take 7 pairs of every clean animal, and 1 pair of every unclean animal, as well as birds of the sky, into the ark. These animals, along with Noah, his wife, his sons, and their wives, would be the only survivors of the coming flood. Noah did everything just as God commanded. At the age of 600, Noah and his family entered the ark. 7 days later, the floodwaters came. The Bible tells us that all the springs of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened. For 40 days and 40 nights, rain poured down on the earth. As the waters rose, the ark was lifted high above the ground. The floodwaters increased until they covered all the high mountains under the heavens. Every living thing on dry land perished: birds, livestock, wild animals, and all of humanity. Only Noah, his family, and the animals in the ark were saved. The waters continued to rise for 150 days, completely submerging the earth. But through it all, Noah and his family remained safe inside the ark, protected by God's hand. Now, let's explore the life lessons from Genesis chapter 7. First, we see the importance of obedience to God. When God gave Noah the command to build the ark and gather the animals, Noah obeyed without hesitation. His obedience was essential to his survival and the continuation of life on earth. This teaches us that when God calls us to a task, even one that seems overwhelming or doesn't make sense to us, we must trust and obey His instructions. Obedience to God can lead to salvation, even when the world around us is in chaos. Second, God provides a way of escape in the midst of judgment. Although the flood was a devastating act of judgment, it also showed God's mercy. Noah and his family were spared because they were righteous in God's eyes. This teaches us that even in the darkest times, God offers a path of redemption. Just as the ark provided physical safety for Noah, God provides spiritual safety for us through faith and trust in Him. Third, this chapter reminds us of the seriousness of sin. The flood wasn't just an isolated event. It was a response to the overwhelming wickedness and corruption of humanity. God's decision to cleanse the earth shows that sin has real consequences, and God cannot ignore it forever. This serves as a warning for us to examine our lives and align ourselves with God's will, knowing that while He is patient, judgment will come to those who reject His ways. Fourth, the story of the flood reveals God's faithfulness to His promises. God told Noah that He would bring a flood, and He did. But He also promised Noah that he and his family would be saved, and God kept that promise as well. This chapter reminds us that when God makes a promise, He is faithful to fulfill it. We can trust in His word, knowing that He never fails. Finally, we learn about God's ability to bring new beginnings out of destruction. Though the flood wiped out nearly all life on earth, it also marked the start of a new chapter in human history. After the flood, the earth was cleansed, and Noah and his family were given the chance to begin anew. In our own lives, we may face moments of loss or hardship, but through God's grace, those difficult times can lead to new opportunities, growth, and a fresh start. In summary, Genesis chapter 7 is a powerful reminder of both the justice and mercy of God. It teaches us the value of obedience, the certainty of God's promises, and the hope that comes with new beginnings. Just as Noah trusted in God's plan and found refuge in the ark, we too can find refuge in God's love and faithfulness, no matter the storms we face.